Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad!
Welcome, people of the internet. Dutch, Emma, Demon Sub, Rumbly8, Tutti. All welcome, especially since you all have known in advance that our dear friend Jerry is missing. Well, not missing, we know where he is, or should be. No, Jerry is on his way to UK Games Expo. So, there's that. So tonight we will do something completely different. Not looking at any of your lovely projects. No, we're going to do, and this is potentially going horribly wrong. Ah, see? And now, let there be light. Oh, lovely light. Now I can see stuff. Also, we need some little background noise. I hear music. Do you hear music? Is it too loud? Is it just right? Does it need to get a little bit louder? You tell me. I think the audio levels are good. So, what we have here is obviously Bot War, as Dutch so rightfully claimed, and this is what the content of the a bit loud, people say. How's that? Better or still too loud? Better, grand. So, you may have noticed these are already built and primed, and they're all black. What I'm planning to do, not just throwing them around, is painting them. Oh, let me show you. Like I did these. So, bugger won't focus potentially. Nope. Go this way. Well, you get the idea. Because I like the effect on how that is done very much, I'm going to replicate this on these ones. But that means I'll start with a very, very heavy dry brush on all of them to give them a nice contrasty paint, and then go with spit paints on top. Yes, Dutch. Correct. Only thing I forgot to get. Dry brushings. So I've seen that some of you are doing hobby as well. If you have any questions regarding Bot Wars or anything else, throw them in the chat. I try to keep an eye on it while I murder these lovely miniatures. I have seen pictures recently of the prototype that Matthew did for his original idea, and that was a genuine Transformers miniature game, and boy did he do great things with the miniatures. It's a shame that that didn't come to fruition. Welcome the days. So I say we start with the smaller ones. Tuffy is working on her Dark Oath Barbarians. Are they naked, very naked, or barely clothed? I'm guessing they're barely clothed. Because otherwise, how would you know that they're barbarians? Also, I'm trying to stay within the camera, so forgive me if I work my way out. Dan Lee, welcome. Oh, Games Workshop barbarians, so yeah. Very, very prude barbarians then. I'm really excited to see how this actually works out in the long run. Because these miniatures are very, how to put it, cubicle? Very sharp edges everywhere. Rumbly, I think I'm going to go all mental on these, because I couldn't replicate the painting style that had been done to them initially, or how they are depicted. So why not go full hog and own them as my own? And if they look stupid, there's always the option of, let's say it, stripping them down again. Who's next? You're next. This one is a rather flat tooth, so this needs more finesse. And I still need to paint the, to write the letter to Fantasy World about not stocking everything that is in the range of Bot Wars. There's so much missing in the back catalog. Duck, welcome! Did you have a birthday? In that case, happy belated birthday, and a Blackstorm Fortress box. I seem to remember that those were bloody expensive? Or do I remember that wrong? It needs more paint. Oh, maybe too much paint. Oh, who cares? Correct, Manik, welcome to this very unusual Hobby Hangout, which is totally impromptu and completely unplanned. Well, not really, but different from our usual shenanigans. And I really hope that Jerry enjoys his time, even though it's basically working. Oh yeah, Doug, I see what you mean. Out of production stuff from Games Workshop goes either the way of the dodo, nobody wants it, or at some point suddenly everybody wants them again for some odd reasons, and the prices start to soar like very irresponsible acting eagles. Ah, don't be ashamed, the days. Doing hobby or not doing hobby, sometimes everybody needs a break. And to be fair, I could have made this on the weekend, and I really restrained myself from doing so, because yeah, I want these painted. I want them seen in glorious, vibrant, speed painty colors, though I'm still not very undecided on how and what color scheme where it goes where. But I guess we will find out tonight, at least for some of them. And I know some people will scream at the screen right now going, "No, you can't do this." Guess what? Those are mine. I can do what I like. The Heresy box is on pre-order from the weekend on. Well, I stopped looking at any Games Workshop related news. Is it that expensive as the great moaning before had anticipated? What was it? £200 for one box? Oh, was it more? €220. Well, that's a bit steep for my taste. But then again, it's Games Workshops. I don't care. As long as they don't start making things like Guacamole again, or proper, what's it called, Epic, I think I'm safe. And even then, they'd probably ruin it. Yeah, $220 for a quote-unquote starter box is a hefty price tag. Especially thinking that most people already go and say 100 to 150 is a big ask. At least those people that I have been talking to lately. Myself, being one of them. Yeah, these. I think it's basically down to the way the miniatures are made. They have very sharp edges to lend them very well to this kind of dry brushing, and if the colors later then stick to the surface like I intend them to, they will look very darkish, but at the same time, on the bright spots will be very vibrant, so there will be a very high contrast on these, I hope. But man, these giant bases is really handling something. How large is this? Anyhow. Almost 70 millimeters. Bloody hell. So much black. I see a black dot and I want it painted black. No, black. Black is it's black already, so. Dry brushing is such a relaxing way to paint. You just don't have to look where paint is going. It's so enjoyable. Well, yeah, we could argue about how the definition of starter boxes. That is many things gone wrong. Yes, Rumley, all things I got are very much intact, and I've never had any resin miniatures that were this clean in regards of cutting off from the sprue. So they were, except for one or two, barely any sprue gate residue. Doug, I think that's one of the better analogies for being able to play certain things. Shogun's head is which one? The large coil one or the smaller Valiant? Valiant? Whatever you call them. There may have been the big coil, but yeah, there's everything intact. And there were no small parts flying around in these packets. Still have them next to me sitting here, so there's nothing left. Except for 2 heads. I think that could maybe be something Matthew could look into. Having some more alternative heads for the minis that are coming with separate heads. This is already the smallest dry brush I have, and still there are places that I can't get to. Yeah, RJ, and not to be confused with RC, I guess. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And at this point, in case Mr. Trader's Galaxy is listening or watching the replay on YouTube, I'm sorry to have used that cartoon scene transformation. You didn't really want it to, but I haven't really thought about it, so won't happen again. I'm also still undecided on the robots that do look a lot like cars and have very noticeable car parts, as if I want to give them the proper look of car parts. For example, giving the front grille a chrome look, or just slush them in paint. And I think this is the first time that I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't go for the big speed paint sets to have more colors. But for some of the more vibrant colors, I may try using the Vallejo acrylic paint, because those are also very vibrant and thin. So maybe I'll use some of those. I mean, just look at this red. This is so red. Yeah, Demon Sub, that's the problem. There are certain areas. For here, example, this door, I think that's also visible. That's still black, and I can't get there to save my life properly. But then again, it's shadow. It'll be a stark contrast on the MIDI. I'll just say it's intentional, and nobody will be able to tell otherwise. The only downside of painting metallics on this method, and I've seen this on the fantasy miniatures are done in this way, is that the metallics really look too poppy and need to be thinned down. Which then again sets itself as a problem, because thinning metallics is can be terrible if done too thinly. Would you just look how many details he managed to get into these? And I really hope with the new camera setup you can at least get a glimpse of how much detail there is on these. I think I need to take a picture of these ones that they're all dry brushed, just to have a point of reference for later. And also for the project on the OBS OTT project system. Which in recent times seemed to behave a lot better, at least for me. I only had a failed transfer of files once, and I really asked for that at that point in time. Yeah, they look amazing, but if you use these on these desaturated colors with the technique I'm using here, they are too poppy. They just scream into your face. But we will see. Wait, see, I think I need another dab of mummy robes. Sup, Dajar, welcome to the stream. Totally cherryless, but with 100% more bot war. And I know some people are really annoyed that they can't really do any more bot war jokes. Pete is trying, in case you're listening. Hello, Pete. And I appreciated the interaction. But to be fair, it started to get on my nerves. Not the jokes as such, but the not getting what I ordered in a timely fashion because somebody was too stupid to accept the parcel. Oh, there's already an expansion on the way. Or that should I say, I've put in my order on something that is in stock, in addition with something from a different product range that isn't in stock but will be released soonish. So there's one more Valiant model on its way. The Humvee. I'd like to have some more coils as well, but sadly, as said someplace before, Fantasy World doesnnt seem to care. They don't have more coils on this in stock, other than the 28 millimeter game, which doesn't really help in my case. I guess you can safely say that, Tuffy. It's the furthest traveled box of miniature games ever. I don't think anybody has a box of any game that has made more mileage on sea than this one. I mean, it's Australia, Germany, Australia, and back again. And also, since I'm very bad at dry brushing usually, it doesn't really affect the way I'm painting right now, because the paints that I'll be using later really need something to get a source of light from. So the more white or off-whitish there is, the poppier the color gets. The less dry brushing I do, the more black remains. Almost twice, once at least, and I did look up the traveling time for plane from Germany to Australia is 28 hours, and that's in a direct line. And I'm pretty sure Matthew said something about these are traveling via ship, simply because of cost effectiveness. Oh, lovely. I didn't notice that before. So there's a small pattern engraved, which should be the checkered roof ceiling of a cab. Nice. That's going to look lovely. And once I've painted all miniatures, I'll take a picture and then I'll apply for Traders Galaxy. What's that program called again? Ambassadors? No. something something. Don't start getting political in my hobby time. If you look at it from a very, very pure ecological standpoint, every hobby in every state is unnecessary use of resources, so is it the Builders program? Probably. I couldn't remember. I've read about it once and thought to myself, oh, I would like to apply for that. Bot War Builders Society. Or a better Bot Wars tomorrow. Something, something. Insert tagline here. This one has a lot of vents. Tuffy, you're pushing it. I think she was on a world tour long before. Oh, Dutch, now you're getting yourself into hot water. Well, I think you once told you're single, so maybe there's a reason to that. You can show all the apes as however you want. That doesn't make me wrong. Also, for as far as I know, everybody of you could be some kind of program. Not real. Just being part of my imagination. Some sophisticated algorithm of sorts. Oh, this leader dude has way too many nooks and crannies. And what's that for a horrible word anyway? Crannies. I think to reload. Oh, Toby, don't say that to R2D2. He will short-circuit you. Oh god. So, since I'm already almost done with dry brushing, which one of these lovely miniature bot wars bots should I tackle first when painting? I'm indecisive if I should go for the big ones or for the small ones. The Matrix is a nice movie that should have been left alone and not have gotten any of the sequels, to be honest. It was a nice open ending with just enough closure to not feel left out or something. If there are aliens out there in close vicinity and they want to invade Earth, I think their technology would be so far beyond ours, they wouldn't need to create anything like a simulation. They just nuke us from above. Yeah, what's okay? Face Matrix is like Highlander. They should have stayed with one. Sadly, that's advice that's fallen on deaf ears. Oh, and speaking of movies and sequels, I just learned that, and I find this fascinating, Disney has canned Johnny Depp from being Captain Sparrow ever again. They just fired him. So no more Johnny Depp in movies by Disney. Hurrah! Let's see. Who is giving me the most inspiration? I think we will start with our tiny friend here. Yep, they didn't wait for the case with Amber being finished. They just cut cords. And already announced a 6th Pirate of the Caribbean with Margot Robbie. So, Captain Jack Sparrow, and the next iteration will be female. So, Hive Dweller Purple it is. Excuse me, forgot the lyrics. Pete, welcome! You old bastard. How's your evening? I hope you find yourself in good company. Now, replacing the lead, especially when the series is on a downward spiral, isn't really anything useful. Oh yeah, Pete, you're doing Western currently and have, I dare say, abandoned Baron's War, but taken a healthy break? Cleansing your palate? Oh, you're home alone then. And you've got nothing better to do than watch me paint Port War spots. That's very decent of you. I hope you enjoy your time and will be able to make some progress on your very good-looking Western buildings. And I dare ask, how many ice creams did you eat to get all these popsicles? And don't anybody ever say to me you're buying these sticks in bulk from Amazon or something. You all are eating way too many ice creams. I know that for a fact. Also, that's the most adult, responsible way to gather these resources. Called recycling. Sheets of balsa wood. So you're not even using strips, but you're making your own strips. You are mad. Oh, people, you are the worst. What did I tell you? You should remind me of taking a picture first from all the dry brush minis before I start painting. Oh, now you've done it. Now you've ruined the whole process. Bloody hell. Well, just finish this one up then, and then grab my smartphone to take a picture. Maybe that is a bit dark, but then again, I like it. And she's a sniper, so she doesn't want to be seen. Anywho. Not today, demon. Not today. Maybe some other day. Where's my bloody... Hold on. Also, truth be told, this is my phone. This is the work phone, but my phone is doing camera work right now, so... I'm not really having any choice now, do I? Do a little snap. Another snap. And a third snap. Both archives. So where we were with this lovely yellow lady. Yeah, how not to be seen. And you would be surprised how many people get that wrong. So I'm keeping this one very simple. We started with Hive Developer, and we will now use Gravelord Grey out of the speed paint range. Oh, speaking of buildings that are never finished. Hey, where's Crispin? Maybe why didn't he show up with his lovely castle yet? Or is he just, since he managed to get himself a golden button, up, and away? Crispin! Hope you're right. Nope, those are not real paints, those are cheating paints, but I'm a cheater, so... Come at me, bro. Come at me. Maybe I need to do a bit more work on the wheels. The Gravelord Grey is a bit too light. It'll probably be fine for the weapon, but it's a bit too thin for getting the wheels blackish. Or maybe I just switch to regular paint for those. Could do that. Wouldn't be cheating, would it? No, it wouldn't. My game, my rules. Can't take that away from me. Oh, holiday in the US. Yeah, potentially he's doing the only reasonable thing, and that's shoving food in his face and enjoying life as long as he can. So I need proper paints now. I say proper paints, and then I'll refer to some weird bottles I've got sitting around here. Oh look, I've used that already. At some point in time. Go there. Don't mess up this. And you go. What? There's my black. There's my black. Pete, as long as you're complaining about having a gold button every year, I think that's complaining at a very high level. At a very, very high level. And I'd still really like to know how that kerfuffle with him and Ben started. Why Ben wouldn't acknowledge his great project. And to be fair, I don't really get how Ben chooses the project he chooses sometimes. Not because I don't think that some of the projects didn't deserve it, but there are so many so great projects. How can you actually start to choose on who to give an award to and who not? It feels like a nearly impossible task to do. Oh, I'm sure there's something in the fine print when you signed up for OTT that says if you park your images here, we are free to use it. And to be honest, we put them online to be seen, so... But yeah, being credited is nice. Should be. Well, he used those pictures, Crispin, on his projects just after Ben didn't acknowledge him having done great stuff. So that was basically the second phase of escalation. Did I mention the amount of detailing Matthew has done on these? You can literally see tracks on the tires, and they're not just small tracks. I think if blown up to scale, they will be within the measurements for an MOT. If MOT in Britain has something like looking at the profile depth of a wheel. I know that the German equivalent does. Also, that's one of the things that doesn't have an acronym. It just goes by the word, the lovely, soothing sound of Hauptuntersuchung. Oh, why would you say the Ben is a wanker, Pete? Now I need a different brush because I won't ruin my good Winsor Newton with metallics. Where are my metallics? Somewhere up here. Oh, I missed a spot on the purple. Was that purple? See, this is one disadvantage of the speed paints. When in liquid form, it's very hard to distinct them from one another. Yeah, but that seems to be the one I was looking for. Okay, nice. As long as your sword isn't non-metal made, I think Demon's Up you're okay. I also think it's a difficult task to pick a project because there are some people who just flood the project system. And of course they need to somehow integrate all those things within the subjects they cover regarding people who pay for ads on the site. We mustn't forget it's a business after all. They need to make money. Is this the right brush? No, that's wrong. So, das ist nicht der richtige. Oh, I don't know how many projects I have, but I know that there's a few. And I know other people have a lot of projects. This is the right one, I think. I hope. I can't tell you if they're bad at making money, Pete. I don't dare to judge them because I can't see the records. The only thing I know is that there's at times a work ethic problem. Let's put it that way. But then again, I know no employer that doesn't suffer from that from time to time. No company and its employees are 100% all of the time. Well, that could have been for multiple reasons. Just because you don't make money automatically means you're bad at it. It may be just that your business model isn't something people are looking for currently. And I think, and this is just me talking from memory, they had a relationship with him way back. So there are ties before then. And maybe Warren just simply didn't want to work for himself anymore and just said, I need a boss. Who knows? I certainly don't. Doug got his last Prospector book. That's the second big edition? See, Pete, that's a completely different story. I have no idea how that initially worked and why that is and who did what. So it's all hearsay, and unless people directly involved are willing to talk about it on camera or face to face, I'll just leave it at that. I really like how this has come out. Not sure about the base. I initially thought that I'd be painting the top black and use some bright color on the rim with the dry brushed fade out, but I'm not so sure now. Maybe later. Yes, Rumley, this is directly Speed Painty's paints. Well, let's see. Maybe I can get this into focus. I can't. Won't focus. Sorry. Yeah, Demon Sub. I don't know if they're busy behind the scenes, but I think the what you call it, the work vector of those two has changed a bit. And I think I recall Jerry mentioning that Lloyd especially is now doing a lot of graphic works for Wayland in the background. But then again, I might be wrong. So, hello, Mr. Taxi. What are we going to do with you with all your lovely check? I think there's no way around it. I'm going to try, because I know the Zealot yellow from Speed Paints is a very reddish yellow. I'm not going to use that just now. I'm going to try to use some Model Air color and dilute it a bit. And then we'll see what happens. See you, Nick. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon, hopefully. Shake it, baby! Shake it. My arms. Oh god. Shake. Shake well. So, since these are airbrush colors, these are already quite thin. But I think they can use another drop of thinning medium. Oh, what happened in the background? Somebody killed the music. Who killed the music and why? Oh, YouTube is being YouTube. Back on track. Where's my brush? There's my brush. There's my paint. God, I think it's a bit too thin. Well, we'll see how this will work. I hope. I think this is a bit too thin. Well, let's just give it a slobbering. Who knows? Well, this yellow is as good as I thought it would be, but it will suffice as a foundation for the speed paint yellow, I think. Yeah, video killed the radio star. You're quite right on that. And before that, radio killed the live orchestra. Oh, I've got the feeling I should have used another brush. But then again, now it's too late. Smoosh it good. Don't pull. They are selling a separate medium for speed paints, Doug, to get them even thinner. I have experimented with this, and this is basically just what Midwinter Minis claims to be his quote-unquote formula, which is water, a drop of soap, and what you call it, acrylic medium. You can thin speed paints with that, if you don't overdo it. So I think I've used 3 drops of speed paint on 1 drop of thinning medium, and they are already very thin, so you don't really want to go more down the road, unless you want to use them as a glaze or something, I guess. At a point, of course, pigment cohesion is out the window if thinned too much. Guessing some people watching the video later will be screaming in agony, watching me smushing paint all over these. But at that point, it'll be way too late, and you can't stop me. And there's so much space to paint. So many details. So much things to fuck up. Overall, not too bad, if I say so myself. Taking the pooling away. You don't need a hairdryer for speed paints. Really, you don't. If you have your ordinary room temperature, and with that I mean the room temperature a normal person has, not like Jerry has, just look at these. These have been sitting here for about, well, three quarters of an hour, and this is almost dry now. There's a bit of fluidity left. I haven't tried the hairdryer on these colors, but they really dry fast, so I'm almost tempted to use a wet palette for them, but then again they get too liquefied again. How to pick up. So this was the black of the gun. So the one I painted first is already dry to the touch, so there's not much done. If you want to do multiple layers of these speed paints, you should wait a bit longer to let it fully cure. But then again, people have been complaining about speed paints being reactivated, and I really tried to force that, and it didn't happen to me. I really couldn't get it to be reactivated, even if I wanted. So either I'm a very bad painter, and I really have no clue what I'm doing, which is completely within the realms of possibility, or these are just way too quickly dried. Freehand serial numbers and tartan banners? Doug, are you on some kind of drugs you shouldn't be on? and serial number. There's a lot of details on these, but there are no license plates as far as I can tell, so there's no serial numbers on these. And banners? Who needs banners when you have big fighting robots? Now to paint the rim. Boy, let me tell you, even though my wife got me some new glasses just last year for my nearsightedness, I really think I should at least try one of these optical painting aids that look like somebody planted a microscope in your face at some point in the not so distant future. For now, it's still okay. But eventually I think I'll need to go down that road. Currently, I only feel the need for such a things when I'm getting really tired and my eyes start just going bananas. But right now, I feel my eyes are well rested. I don't know about you lot, but I really enjoy painting these. I really do. Even though I'm usually not a fan of too intricate models with too many details to be painted, because I'm usually very bad at that. You know, these pictures painting by numbers. And I'm the one screwing that up all the time. Yeah, Demons Up, I did take off my glasses in previous years, and then I got some bifocals, so it helps a lot. And Pete, for somebody who says he hates painting, you are doing an awful good job at painting your miniatures. They really do look nice, and I very much am envy about you having the ability to keep a painting style consistent and not go all over the place. Also, having the chutzpah to go and paint football colors on historical minis and then use them on a historical convention. Kudos to you, sir. Either day, some hobby is better than no hobby. And to be fair, if it wasn't for this box set, probably would still contemplate on how to build the last two Star Wars Legion boxes that are sitting right next to me. Speaking of Star Wars Legion, Ralph hasn't been here, has he? Have I missed him? We did a very, very long talk about the premiere episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi and what happened at Star Wars Celebrations. So if anybody is getting bored of me rambling about little tiny fighting men, you can listen to Ralph and me ramble about Star Wars. Just Google Imperial Interlude. Yeah, tough you don't stay within the lines, but you've made that part of your painting style especially at the speed you're hammering out your stuff. Other people receive their shipment notification, and at that point you already have primed yours. Basically, if you buy something, it should count as pre-painted at that point in time. And I know that you not always have that kind of speed. Nobody is on top of their game 100% of the time. That's just not possible. Although it seems like it sometimes for some people. Yesterday's Atomic Mass Games officially confirmed a Mandalorian and Grogu miniature that's coming out. They've also shown the Ewoks that are coming out next year for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. They still need to show off a miniature for what's her face, Ahsoka, which they had confirmed, and an alternative sculpt for Boba Fett, which they showed on stream but never shown as a package. You hand prime. Well, by the speed you're painting, I think you're using a very large brush there, Tuffy. So, I know this one doesn't look ready yet. I think the smaller one, the RJ, I think I'm quite happy how she looks with this simple paint job. But I think Mr. Taxi Driver here needs some more oomph. But I think I'll just let this yellow dry properly, because this isn't a speed paint. And I still can see some moisture around certain parts, so I don't want to jinx that. I wish I could airbrush everything or prime everything with my airbrush paint, but currently the garage is just a giant bag of holding. Let's see. So this little fellow here, I think for this one I will reference the card. So there's RJ. Oh, so he's painted herbs. Painted a bit like a Mini Cooper. But I don't think I want him to be green. I think, since on the cards from the core set, none of them are really vibrantly red, he's going to be the reddish guy that has been so red like no red has been before. Bloody miniatures. That's a great that's a great name for a company. Bloody miniatures. I always seem to forget the name of that bloody company. Oh, hold on, I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rumbly, but I think Bot War is the only game where every character is named, isn't it? I really should use a different brush. I really should. Let's take this one. And now things will get bloody red. And as I said earlier, chrome parts are going to be painted metallic chrome later on. First we need some color on this. I dare say it, but I think I'm at the stage where for this kind of paint job I'd like to have some big bottle and just dip them. That would be amazing. Ultra fast painting, just prime it, dry brush it, dip it in color, add highlights, bish bash bomb. Also, there are some minor variants on generic warriors. Good to know. I was thinking about just staying with the artwork colors, primarily for the reason of if you're trying to teach somebody, they can recognize the miniature on the table more easily. But then again, I think most people that are willing to learn this game are those from my gaming club, and they will be able to differentiate them. And maybe I'll make some name tags, put them on the back or something, or on the base. Restraining yourself to certain games, yeah, I think that's something we all should try to do, simply to not be the ultimate hobby butterfly. I can see that, Rumbly. Though I think you would do the game a disservice in a way if you were to use the classic paint jobs or miniatures that are not too obviously references to G1 Transformers. So like the Destructicon Combiner thingamajig. If that hadn't been in the greenish colors, it would have looked wrong for some odd reason. Also, I really would like that WizKids would finally pull their finger from their buttocks and bring the Transformers pre-paint line to Germany or Europe. I'd like to get my hands on those and paint them up as well. I can't remember the name of the series though. Some weird namings convention. Pete, are you forgetting Battletech in that list of yours? Or is Battletech something you only play on PC? And also, the worst thing about the WizKids Transformers pre-prime things, the German company Blackfire, that is a part of Asmodee and is at points being the sole distributor for Europe at some things, has the second wave marked as coming in, but not the first, which is completely irritating. Yeah, Pete, see, that's the problem. Once you start thinking about all the games you have and are playing, you suddenly realize, oh, bloody hell, I would have said a number, and thinking of it, the number is actually twice as high. And if I start to think about games I've actually bought miniatures for. Not even just played, but bought. It's, yeah, way too many. Too many games. Excuse me. And while you're on Blood, Panzer kaputt. Blood Bowl, perhaps? Well, Demon Sub, congratulating on having done all currently available Slyne stuff. Looking forward to the next iteration on Slyne. Because we all know there will be more coming. And remember, kids, if you're painting with metallics, the least thing you need to do is use a not so expensive brush for your metallics. Otherwise, you'll regret it. Trust me. Ask me how I know. Because some dude on YouTube said so. Washing the brushes. Yeah, to be completely fair, if I would really be anal about caring for my brushes, I should have 2 glasses of water for cleaning brushes. So currently on my, let's call them active games lists, is Legion, obviously Bot War, and Battletech. And further on in the recently played collection, there's Blood Bowl. And then there's stuff sitting in shelves behind me from Games Workshop I haven't touched in ages. Oh, and I totally forgot Frostgrave. I recently bought that as well. For some odd reason. Oh, I know why I did. Because everybody told me it's such a great game and it's also available in German. So I don't have to do bloody translating all the time in my head while reading. That's something that really annoys me at times. When you have to look up words just to understand rules. But I've rambled about that often enough in the past, so I'm not starting again. Oh, in case anybody remembers Morg Miniatures Kickstarter of the Undead, they released a video today that they will be doing some more Undead in the near future. They will be doing lovely Skellybobs. Skellybobs from the battlefield, carrying stuff around. Very much looking forward to those. Question for the audience. Do you lot just buy what you think you're going to use and payment comes out from a general account, or do you set yourself a hobby budget and set aside each month a certain amount of money and use it when needed. For myself, I have a fixed sum I put aside each month. If not buying something in 1 month, the money gets saved for the next possible bigger project. And I felt the need to do this simply because at one point in time when X-Wing and Legion were a thing in my life at the same time, going to my friendly local dealer when he said your orders have arrived got quite expensive. I see, so some people just go in and buy when money just came in, and other people try to behave and restrain themselves with some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Self-restraint isn't quite what I'm looking for. What it would be? Self-control, that's the one I was looking for. So for certain self-control, yeah, I think that's possibly a good thing. Yeah, Kickstarter was for me a very bad thing, but ever since, I think about 2 years now, Kickstarter has mostly lost its charm on me. And ever since Brexit and UK companies are getting really expensive, I just don't care about Kickstarter anymore. Hi, Cyber-Sanity? Oh, you went all in on bot war. Nice for you. I hope you have a reasonable local distributor for your miniatures, and not like myself, having a wank job of a seller. So, let's have a look at the cards again. I know I've just painted Valiants so far. I'm tempted to give the little buggers from the coils a quick wash, simply because they're just violet, similar to what we painted RJ in. But I think those have way bigger contrast in them. You know what? I'll just hand them same. Now, you may drop a fuck ton of money into Baron's War, but then again, that's your one main thing. And consider how long you'll be painting those. £3 weeks? Well, that's 100 quid per week, so maybe restrict yourself a bit. Self-control. You need to have self-control. I think self-control is something our hobby has the least of. Unless you're in the zone while painting and building, but regarding buying new shiny stuff, I think we're all pretty much terrible at restricting ourselves from buying new crap we don't need but just want. Oh, Demon Sub, I'm pretty sure Ben's wallet did a loud and audible scream this afternoon when the Kickstarter went live. And to be fair, the Boris and Badgers miniatures do look lovely. It's just not my kind of game. Though I would like to paint one or two of those buggers, but I'm not going to fund a Kickstarter project for that. Especially with the import taxes. And I mean, I could try and look up if there's a vendor in Europe selling those who does reasonably priced shipping. I'm really glad that Heresy Andy has managed to get in a deal with Battlefield Berlin. So if I want some miniatures from Andy, I can buy them via Battlefield Berlin. And the markup isn't that bad. And considering that I had to pay taxes and import fees for the recent Kickstarters that came from the UK, the price is even better. Realistically, I'm spending way too much money on Hobby. Realistically, I shouldn't be spending any money on Hobby. But then again, I'm not going out partying, I'm not going out drinking much. I don't drive a fancy car, we don't go on holidays. So I need some kind of release. And that's not the shopping for miniatures, it's the actual painting and assembling. As was the topic of discussion in the recent Weekender, yeah, building is my zen phase. I usually get very relaxed. Unless it's a horrible model kit that just won't get fit together. You know, like snap fit models that just are not properly aligned or just go together in one way and there's no building instructions coming with them. Bloody hell. I hate miniatures and model sets that don't have instructions. Jeebus, 500 quid. Well, if you plan far ahead for your birthday budget, also I think that's, well, it always depends on what you got on disposable income. It always comes down to that, doesn't it? So now I think I should take another set of shorts. Best not to hold the finger across the lens. Where are my two lovely smally ones? They're in the back. Let's see if I can get a decent picture of them. Yeah, don't try summing up how much money you're using on your hobby. That basically always goes bad. I don't think they take children at the pawn shop, Doug. I think you need to send him to the mines. So I really would like to go on and paint more, but I'll just taking a quick swish at the clock and it's getting late-ish. So Brandon, no, so they primed black. I dry brushed them with heavily with mummy robes and off-white by Army Painter, and then I've used Army Painter's speed paints. They're sort of a glaze, but more akin to contrast paints from Games Workshop, but I feel those are much more consistent than the contrast paints. They work very nice. So the yellow one is a thinned down acrylics air from Vallejo, and this is basically red from whatchamacallit, Speed Paints Blood Red. I will be posting those to Instagram as soon as I've buttoned up everything here. To be fair, the red on camera looks a wee bit brighter than it is in reality, but I blame that on the camera setup. So, well, it's there. That's part of the course. My Instagram account is instagram.com/sundancerge. I think. I hope. I'll put links everywhere sometimes. I hope you had some fun joining and building with me. And I hope next week Jerry will be with us again and have some tales to tell from UK Games Expo. Unless somebody manages to annoy him that much that he's going to kill somebody. With that said, thanks for being here. You on YouTube, thank you for watching the video. And with that, I'm off. See you a lot again next week. And don't forget to look for Imperial Interlude, the podcast on all things Star Wars. Gute night, or as we see here, schlaft gut und träumt was Schönes.